So this is my second part of the assignment 2, so anatomy and physiology, but this time I'm going to be focusing on neuroendocrinology by Callum Hill. We'll start with neuro and endocrine. So the neuro means the regulation of activity that allows the muscles and the glands via neurotransmitters. So this basically means that the glands produces the hormones, and then the hormones interact with the receptor cells, whereas the endocrine, so this influences metabolic activity of cells via the hormone system. So this basically means that the neurons passes information onto the neurotransmitters, then the neurotransmitters passes a message onto the receptor cells. We're going to move on to the glands. So there are two types of glands. So the first one is endocrine, which means that it doesn't have any ducts, but internally secrete. So what I mean by secrete is it produces and releases hormones into the blood or lymph fluid, for example, adrenal glands. And then secondly, the exocrine, which again produces and releases by secrete through the ducts onto surfaces or into cavities, for example, salivary glands. So the endocrine versus the exocrine, obviously to my left is the endocrine and to the right is the exocrine. So I'll start with the endocrine. So this is the 4 different areas that covers the endocrine. So the pituitary glands, the adrenal gland, the pancreas, and the testes, ovaries. So in terms of like the target cells for these, so the endocrine, the adrenal gland operates with the heart, lungs, and vessels. The testes works with the muscle, kidney, and bone. The pancreas locates with the muscle and the liver. And then the exocrine, which is the sweat glands, salivary glands, and the mammary glands. So when the hormones are secreted onto the blood stream, they only react with specific target cells. So the lock and key theory illustrates this action as well. The adrenaline, we're going to move on to the adrenaline. There are 4 different areas as well. So the first one is the adrenaline increases the cardiac output. It also increases the fat metabolism. It also increases the glycogen breakdown and also vasoconstricts as well. The thyroxine stimulates the oxidative metabolism, and it can also stimulate the cell growth as well. The testosterone, which is the androgen receptors, this promotes protein synthesis, and it also promotes bone mass and the EPO. So an EPO means to produce red blood cells in the bone marrow. So the insulin and the insulin receptors. So again, this promotes the protein synthesis, and it also promotes the glucose entry into the cells. Glucagon, to the glucagon receptors. It only increases the blood sugar levels. And lastly, the hormones. You've got 4 different categories again. So number 1 is anabolic. So anabolic means insulin into testosterone, which increasingly increases protein synthesis. The catabolic, which is a cortisol, and it's also a progesterone, which decreases the protein synthesis rather than increase. The fat soluble, which is a testosterone and a cortisol. Slows the impact, but it's a longer lasting, makes longer lasting changes. And water soluble. So this is a epinephrine, and an insulin. And it's the rapid changes, but not long lasting.